I was at work. I was driving a one-ton glass truck. Came in here, get the job done. The next thing I knew is I guess I probably saw the vapor, but I thought it was smoke from some of the, they're thawing the ground for construction. But the important thing was I got this very strong smell of propane, and the adrenaline kicked in. Unfortunately, it was a friend instead of an enemy. And I remember thinking, I don't want to drive any further into this. And the truck stalled almost immediately, like we're talking microseconds. And this all happened probably within a second or so. It was like the world just went up around me in flames. But I knew I had to get out of there. The flames, everything's coming in. So I jumped out of the vehicle, and all I could see was flames. All I could hear was flames. And I knew I didn't want to go any further into this fire, so I ran back, putting my head into the snow that I couldn't see, but I knew it was there because I knew there was air trapped in snow. I owe my life to this young fellow that he was actually an apprentice, and he started yelling at me, letting me know that I was out of the fire, because I couldn't tell because I'm all in flames and burning. And he's the one that took me to the hospital and rescued my life. A lot of people go through terrible things, and yet nothing really changes, right? And my incident, because of the concern by so many people, there were some really good changes that came out of it that I had nothing to do with. But then there are other ones where I could at least support, or that I drove myself. And let's say in the EPOC sign there, and I did my best to support that, and Alberta First Call and DIG and so forth. And then there's things from the Firefighters Burn Treatment Unit. People started realizing it was the small things that are causing these incidents. They're easily prevented, or the majority of them, but there are other ones, and it was the clothing that was really causing the severe burns and the fatalities. So back then, people either wore their normal street clothing, or if the company provided them with clothing, it was the same stuff that, either cotton or some of the polyester, whatever. It didn't matter. They're hazardous, and that's what was causing the really severe burns. So that's changed. Where now the understanding that it's the clothing we wear that makes the big difference. So I'm wearing fire-resistant clothing, and so are many people, and the companies are providing them to the workers.
For me, it was let's get out there and do what we can. A lot of things were, I think, on the go. Like, we didn't have access to everything like we would nowadays. We didn't have access to the pipelines, and we didn't have an emergency operations center. So huge learning time for us. But I think the city and all the responders did really well. Well, we learned that we needed to have incident command. We need to have some form of emergency operations center. So emergency operations centers were developed, provincial operations centers were developed, the EPOC with the pipelines is developed, the One Call or First Call was developed. I know a lot of good things did come out of it, and like, for example, Edmonton Fire developed their own hazmat team from there. So fortunately for Mr. Clark, there was a lot of other positive things that have come out of this.